Welcome back to Olive Gray Avenue. My name's Ruth.
I'm Steve.
And we're here to give you our 3 tools that any beginner DIYer should have.
So a big question that may be going through your mind as you start to decide to do DIY is, what do I need to do DIY? You see all these shops, you see all these, Instagram creators that you're following that have awesome content, and then you see all the tools that they have, and you're like, how did they get there? What did you start with? What do I need? Do I need to spend thousands of dollars on tools? No, you do not.
So we have 3 tools that we started with as DIYers, beginner DIYers, that we think you can do almost any project with. We definitely did not start with all the tools. We had a very, very limited collection of tools. We were getting started in DIY, but it escalated very quickly for us. And honestly, until recently, we operated with very few tools. So now we're going to tell you our top 3 tools that any beginner DIYer needs, and you'll be able to do pretty much any project.
We started with just hammers, nails, and a little hacksaw.
Handsaw, we did it all.
Up here on both lands in the snow, I'll tell you. No, but we did. We started with a hammer, and we started with the saw. That's all we had. A hammer and nails and the little saw. We didn't use, I'm not saying that we were out here building DIY like pergolas with it, but we started like everyone with like household tools, right? Everyone has hammers in their house usually, right? Hammer and nails, you hang picture frames, that's simple stuff, right? Everyone has screwdrivers for little screws, you accumulate those. So we're not talking about starting off with household tools. We're talking about you're stepping up.
Power tools.
You're getting into your power tool game. You're leveling up.
So as you save money with DIY projects, what are you going to be able to do with that extra budget is invest in tools. You can build up your collection of tools with each project you do and just get the tools you need when you need them.
It's a very personal choice because your DIY isn't the same as my DIY. True, that's real deep. Think about that. Yeah.
So here's our first power tool recommendation that every beginner DIYer needs. A drill!
A drill. Now, why would you need a drill as your first tool?
So the drill lets you do a lot of things. If you want to check out our drill versus driver video, we go into a lot more depth about how this works, what you use it for. But you can drill holes and screw in fasteners like bolts and screws to whatever your project is. Making furniture, I don't know. Putting up drywall, I don't know.
Yeah, save that grip strength, this would be the upgrade to your screwdriver, right? If you're sitting there screwing things in, and as you get into heavier duty items, this saves you that time because it goes a lot faster and you do a couple more.
The second tool is the circular saw. So the circular saw is very important because likely when you're doing a DIY project, you're gonna need to cut something. And likely you don't want to do it with a hand tool.
Okay, so the circular saw seems like a very intimidating tool for one of your first sets. But honestly, it's extremely versatile and it'll save you a lot of time from cutting things with a hand tool.
Yeah.
Unless you're not even cutting anything. This will get you into that area of being able to make cuts so that you don't have to rely on the Home Depot or the Lowe's to have someone come over and make those cuts for you, or buying cut wood, because it's so much cheaper to buy full length wood that you cut down yourself.
Right. You can do cross cuts, you can do rip cuts, so you can do cross across the board, rip along with the board. You can cut plywood, you can cut 2x4s, you can cut
masonry, you can
anything.
Cut tile, sheets, metal, like it's versatile, right? You just change the blade out. It is a bit scary, but it's definitely in the top for most used tools in, I think, any shop, really, or starting out shop.
Right. It definitely was for us. This is what we have used for all of our cuts until recently. Mm-hmm. We just recently got a miter saw. We just recently got a table saw. So this will get you pretty far in a lot of projects, just a circular saw. If you'd like to know more about the circular saw, check out our circular saw video. We will link it.
over there, over here, somewhere.
The third tool is a brad nailer, of course. So we have something that drills, we have something that cuts, and we have something that fastens. So the brad nailer is basically used for attaching baseboards, holding two pieces of wood together while they are glued together and the glue dries. What else can you use a brad nailer for?
You can use it for like crown molding. You can use it for a lot of smaller projects, like if you're building a picture frame or anything like that. You do have to be aware that there are different sizes, right? So there's like pins, there's the brads, and then the gauge increases for those. So we definitely recommend something like, I think
this is the 18 gauge.
Yeah, this is an 18 gauge brad nailer, which kind of takes care of a lot of stuff. We've put up slats for the slat wall for the one room challenge in the bathroom that we did. We put them up in our son's room when we redid the nursery. We put some slats there. We've held things together that are gluing, like you mentioned.
Yeah, we put up brick paneling with the brad nailer. I mean, you can use it for just so much. A lot of feature walls use brad nailers. We helped build our fireplace with it. It's just very essential. You will use it literally all the time.
So it doesn't replace the hammer and nail, because with a hammer and nail, you're usually using a nail with like a bigger head that's going to fasten, and that head is holding everything on there. With those pins, they're a lot smaller. It's just the smallest little hole left behind.
It's not quite the size of a needle, but it's closer to a needle than a nail, I guess.
Yeah, and that way, because it's invisible, things look like they're floating. It's a lot better of an aesthetic look. You can wood fill it. You know, it really opens up your options for how you can finish off a room or make a feature wall, like you're saying. Repairing baseboards, I know that's kind of part of regular duties of owning a home or even renting a home. Baseboards kind of crack, they warp, and you kind of got to fix them. So this really helps you in getting those on there, because that's how they were put in there in the first place. Yeah. So that's the 3 tools.
We have the drill, the circular saw, and the brad nailer, and you'll be able to do a lot of our DIY projects with these 3 tools and a lot of projects in general. So if you want to know any more about any of these tools, check out our other tool videos, and we go into a little bit more detail.
A lot of these tools you can find at like the local hardware store. You can buy them off Amazon. There's a variety of different tools, so definitely watch those videos so you can get to know what you actually want out of it.
We will have the links for these 3 tools down below, so if you want to check out the specific tools that we have and that we love, go down below in the description and there will be links to everything.
I'll see you there. Help!
So thanks for joining us today. We appreciate you being here. Make sure you are subscribed below if you are not already, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Peace.